Welcome to this short video about the app you recently purchased from Accu-Stats. We will start at the very beginning and take you through the entire process. A process that is complicated for the computer with thousands of calculations, but simple for you, the user. Regardless of your skill level, you will have the information to identify the areas that need improvement and the areas that are your strengths. No more guessing about how you played. It's not difficult. And when you understand the process, you will look forward to reviewing your summary page, including your TPA for the professional version or the shooter score in the amateur version. When you hear that someone shot a certain TPA or shooter score, you will know exactly how well they shot, not just the number of games won and lost. So let's get started. This is an outline of what we'll cover in today's video. We'll start at the very beginning with the login, choose the application, the general layout of the innings, the general concept of how the app works, some tips on what to do before the match starts. Also show you the APA layout, how it varies just a little bit from the amateur layout. Innings 2 through 50 are the same. The app contains 50 innings. We'll go to explain the summary page if you want to receive an email, how to do that. And we also have a error message section, which I'll go in detail of how that works, together with the help section. So you've received an email from Accu-Stats after your first purchase. In the email, it'll have a link that will take you to this login page. Here you insert your email address and the password that was given to you. Once you go to the website, you will be able to change your password for future logins. I would recommend that you bookmark this page as anytime that you want to download the app, you will need to do that. Now, if you're in a match, all you would do is click the start over button and you would not have to go through this process. But once you log in, it'll take you to the choose application page. After you log in, this page will list all of the apps that you have purchased. In this instance, only one app appears. Click the use application button. A few general comments. The app is a two-player format, winner breaks. The most important concept, record the number of balls left on the table and the reason your turn at the table ended. The order of play is always player 1, player 2, then go to the next inning. Player 1, player 2. If player 2 wins the game and you go to the next inning, player 1 will not shoot in that inning. Also, a point to remember that is on the first row of each inning, it will show you the number of balls on the table before you begin shooting. This is really a time saver. For instance, if there's 7 balls on the table and you go to the table and you shoot a defensive shot, you don't have to count the balls again. Just look at the first row and see how many balls were on the table when you started. The layout for all innings is player 1 is recorded on the left side and player 2 is recorded on the right side. The center section applies to both players. Now, the format for the APA app also includes these categories: points required to win, your total points, the APA timeout per inning and per game, and the APA innings current and total. All information that is used on your APA score sheet. This is inning 1 after you have downloaded the app. And a good thing to do before the match starts is in the left section. This is a 9-ball app, 9 and 10 ball app. So you would select either 9 or 10 in the drop down box. The 9 is the default, so unless you're playing 10 ball, you don't need to do anything there. Go ahead and insert the name of the first person that's going to break. That'll be player number 1, and his opponent would be player number 2. Innings 2 through 50 are exactly the same, just however long it takes the match to play. Record each time you go to the table on a different inning. The summary page. If you would like to receive an email of the summary page, simply put it in the white box in the upper left-hand or right-hand corner. And at the bottom of the page, you will click email. Be sure to click the email before you start over if you want to receive an email of this report. If you're playing in a tournament and you're ready to shoot another match, or you want to record someone else's match, simply click start over, and that will erase everything of the current match, and you'll be in a position to start a new match. Error messages. If you ever see a message on an inning that is in red, that's an error message. There are 4 error messages that we'll go over. Too many balls left on the table, does not shoot, cannot miss and win, and no balls left on the table. Now let's take a look at these, and I'll show you why the error message appears and how you correct it. Too many balls left on the table. In the upper right hand corner, you'll notice that Mike had 6 balls on the table when he began shooting, but then recorded there were 7 balls left on the table. In order to correct this, you need to change the 7 to 6 or less. I want to show you, this is not an error, this is where you win the game. At the bottom right hand side, you'll see where the 1 game is checked and there's no balls left on the table. Had you shot the 8 ball and made the 9 ball, you would record 1 ball left on the table and 1 game. Obviously, this is not an error. Now on the next inning, if you'll notice in the upper left-hand corner, player 1 does not shoot. And if you'll notice, somehow, some reason, somebody checked miss harder than a spot shot under player 1. That's the reason the error message appeared. To correct this, simply uncheck the miss harder than a spot shot and the error message will go away. Cannot miss and win. If you checked miss harder than a spot shot and you also won the game, that's impossible. So the error message at the bottom says error, win, and miss. Uncheck either 1 game or the reason you left the table. The next error message is no balls left on the table. Remember, the most important thing to do is to record the number of balls left on the table. Check miss harder than spot shot, but you didn't say how many balls were left on the table. Now in reality, when you're shooting, many times you'll go back to your seat after you've missed and you'll say I missed harder than a spot shot, and the error message will appear, and then you count the balls. Well, that's how you will correct the error, by simply under balls left on table, using the drop box, record how many balls were left. Definition: balls on break. Only record something in this box if you break. Your possibilities are from 0 to 5. Balls left on table, abbreviated as BLOT. When a player leaves the table, record the number of balls left on the table. In 8-ball, each player counts the 8 ball. Dead balls. Balls pocketed which you do not get credit for. If you make a ball and scratch, this would be a dead ball. In 8-ball, if you pocket one of your opponent's balls, record a dead ball in the next inning the opponent shoots. If you do not, you will be giving credit to your opponent for making that ball. This is a diagram of the spot shot, a shot that was used many years ago, but now with most games using ball in hand, you rarely see it. But in the app, we have 2 different ways to record a missed shot. Miss easier than a spot shot or harder than a spot shot. This is subjective, so just be consistent in your recording. One way I look at it is when I shoot a shot and I say, oh my gosh, I should never have missed that shot. That's easier than a spot shot. Scratch/foul. Check scratch in addition to the type of shot you attempted. For example, if you miss easier than a spot shot and also scratch, then you would check miss easier than a spot shot and scratch. We get hooked. A player cannot see the ball and is forced to shoot a rail first or masse. If you do not make a legal hit, then also check scratch foul. Defense. If you're not trying to pocket a ball, your intention is to hook your opponent or leave them with a hard shot, you would check defense. Games won and shooter score. If you have no balls left on the table, check one game and go to the next inning. If you pocketed the 9-ball early, still record the balls left on table. The total games won is calculated through the inning selected. On the summary page, this would be the total games for the entire match. The shooter score is the equivalent to a batting average in baseball. This is the benchmark to compare your performance from match to match. The calculation is based on all categories for all innings played and updates automatically. I hope this training video has been helpful. If you have any questions, comments, something comes up that you just can't figure out, please feel free to send an email shown on the screen. Thank you and good shooting to everybody.